The story kicks off with Lee, a 35-year-old woman living in New York City. She's a journalist caught in a secret affair with her boss. Lee is head over heels serious about him and truly in love. But shockingly, her boss just sees it as a casual fling. Then, Lee uncovers a heartbreaking story: a tiger cub kept as a pet, trapped and eventually dead. She rushes to tell her boss and writes an article exposing the truth, but he blows it off, refusing to publish it. Worst of all, she realizes she can't even do the kind of journalism she's passionate about. Fed up, Lee makes a bold decision. She leaves New York without telling a soul, not even her boss, and heads back to her hometown. This sparks a fierce argument between them. That's when Lee discovers her boss is about to marry another woman. Devastated and betrayed, Lee breaks things off with him. After the breakup, Lee's world crashes. She feels even lonelier and mentally exhausted. Jason's dad works in pool maintenance, so Jason often comes here with friends. One of Jason's friends boldly asks if Lee or Todd can buy them a bottle of alcohol since they have no money. The vice principal friend feels uneasy and says, "I shouldn't be doing this, not as a school official." But Jason and his friends shock her by saying they're quitting school and leaving town soon. Lee says no, but Todd jokes, "What will we get in return?" They want weed. The boy listens and decides to stay in school. Jason tells Lee, "If you ever need help around the pool, just ask me." Lee likes his offer. Lee surprises them by saying she'll work as a lifeguard at the local pool, the very same job she had back in high school. Todd shares that he also wanted to leave once, but stayed behind to care for his parents. Trying to comfort the upset boy, Todd puts a hand on him, but the boy snaps angrily, "I'm not gay," exposing Todd's sexuality. She accuses Lee of being careless, and they get into a harsh argument. In anger, her mother kicks Lee out of the house. Lee doesn't pull away. They get close and their secret relationship ignites. The very next day at the pool, she finds out she's won a $1,000 journalism award for her tiger cub article. This crushes his friend, who depended on Jason and now feels totally abandoned and alone. They spend time together, go out, and even become physically involved. Despite the big age gap, they're happy and caught up in the moment. Her friends can't believe a journalist would take such a simple job. She's overwhelmed with sadness and guilt, feeling partly responsible for the friend's death. But his father is firm, saying Jason has already been through enough and needs to leave town to live life on his own terms. Lee starts spending a lot more time with Jason, and Can-T denies she is drawn to him, though she tries hard to hide it. "If this gets out, not only will your reputation be destroyed, but mine will be too," she snaps angrily. She storms over to Todd's place to vent. During their talk, Todd reveals Lee is now dating Jason and living with him. Lee apologizes to her once again, and this time, she forgives her. It says, "I've found a job here and I'm happy, but I still miss you." They share a tight hug, their deep emotional bond clear to see. Lee knows their relationship was wrong and that it's time to part ways. She tells Jason to move on and forget everything, handing him the $1,000 award money. With tears streaming down her face, she walks away, still unable to forget him. Shocked, the female friend rushes to confront Lee at the pool. She says, then, finding strength, she tells the boy's mother everything. The mother cries out loud, and Lee stays with her, offering comfort. Lee finally admits to herself that she's in love with Jason. She asks him, "When are you leaving for the city with your friend?" Jason says, "In a few weeks. I've saved some money." This makes her even more furious. Lee tries to stop Jason from seeing it, but he insists and breaks down in tears. "Till then, bye-bye and take care." He blames himself, convinced his friend died because he didn't leave town with him. Lee warns him, that won't be enough, you'll need more. Deep down, she doesn't want him to go. Jason senses it too, and soon, he feels the same way. But even so, she keeps spending long nights with Jason, coming home late, and this really upsets her mother. But even Todd isn't happy with his life. Still, they're both glad to see each other again. She doesn't have kids, which weighs on her emotionally sometimes. Still, she's overjoyed to see Lee after so long. Lee's mother immediately questions her sudden return, suspicious and confused, but her father is genuinely happy to see her again. Lee tells them she plans to stay for a while. Her parents aren't thrilled. They remind her of the bright, successful career she left behind in New York. But Lee stands firm, insisting she was unhappy there and felt crushed by constant pressure. She needs time to figure out what she really wants. The very next day, Lee reconnects with Todd, her old high school friend, who now works at an art gallery. Later on, Lee meets another friend, a married woman who's the vice principal at the local school. That night, Lee, Todd, her female friend, and her friend's husband hang out together. They ask Lee how long she plans to stay. The female friend's husband is not happy at all. He doesn't want his wife hanging out with Lee and Todd, thinking they're irresponsible troublemakers. The very next day at the pool, Lee meets Jason, an 18-year-old local boy, hanging out with his best friend. The following day, as Lee and Todd leave a store, they bump into Jason and his three friends. That night, Lee, Todd, and their female friend meet Jason and his crew to trade weed for the drink. Later, Leah's female friend pulls one of the boys aside and warns him not to quit school or get into drugs. Meanwhile, Lee, Todd, and Jason keep using weed together. One night, while hanging out at the pool with friends, Jason follows Lee into the bathroom and suddenly kisses her. One day at the pool, Lee shows her brave side by saving a drowning child. One night, lying in bed, at a party, Jason's friend tells Todd he wants to leave town immediately because he hates it there. Later, Jason's friend urges Jason to leave for the city the very next day, but Jason says he needs more time to save money. Back at home, Lee's mother is furious that after all her education, Lee became a lifeguard. Homeless Lee moves in with Jason. Jason arrives, and they share a kiss, but Todd spots them. He says nothing. Meanwhile, Lee's female friend has a big fight with her husband over her reckless lifestyle. What were you thinking? He's so much younger than you. She even threatens to tell Jason's father, but Jason fires back, warning her, "I'll tell the principal about you buying weed from us." Later, while Lee and Jason search the woods for her lost cat, they stumble on Jason, his best friend, his body hanging from a tree. He has taken his own life. Lee comforts Jason and brings him home. After that, Lee moves out of Jason's house and into a storage room, where she finally finds her lost cat. Meanwhile, Lee's female friend meets Jason's father and begs him to let Jason finish school. Later, Lee apologizes to her mother, who forgives her with a warm heart. The next day, Lee attends the funeral of Jason's friend. Her female friend arrives too, with her husband. After the funeral, Lee meets Jason one last time before he leaves town. Jason finally moves to the city he always dreamed of, while Lee returns to New York and picks up her journalism career again. Months later, Lee gets a letter from Jason. And with that, the movie ends. Friends, was Jason's father right to send him away instead of making him stay in school? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.